Yo, welcome back to the channel, everyone. And in this video, I'm going to be going over something I believe is very important for those of you who are considering turbocharging your GT86, your BRZ, or your FRS. We're going to be talking about the true cost of turbo. How much money that you guys are actually going to have to spend or save up to at least get your car up and running and a reliable daily driver. Now you guys can also probably tell I'm not in my car. My GoPro failed on me, so we're gonna have to do this old school style at the setup like I'm making a Call of Duty video. Now, I'm also gonna be going ahead and explaining some of the mistakes that I made in the past to prevent you guys from spending any unnecessary money. So, if this video does help you guys out, feel free to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and also turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified immediately when I upload a new video. Also, for those of you who are already boosted, let people know in the comment section of this video your experiences and any other tips and tricks that I may have missed. Now, we're going to be talking about the turbo kit itself. How much is this actually going to cost? Now, there are 3 brands I recommend you guys going with if you guys are thinking about boosting your BRZ, GT86, or your FRS. Now, this is going to be for first-time consumers going ahead and turboing this platform. I recommend you guys going with either JDL, full-blown, or the Greddy kit, which I have. Now, I have the Greddy T518Z kit, which honestly is a great kit, but the only problem is they actually do not make these kits anymore, and unfortunately, the price of this kit actually went up significantly. Now, the price to get this kit brand new as of right now is $4,500. Now, I got my kit brand new, unopened, from 86 Speed for $3,800 last August. That was a complete steal. Now, unfortunately, the price has now increased to $4,500. Now, this kit is a great kit. It's a great kit for those of us who are brand new to turbocharge applications. This was the first platform that I've actually ever modified, and also the first platform that I've actually went ahead and installed a turbo kit onto, and I believe the Greddy kit is a fantastic starter kit. Now, for $4,500, do I believe this is a great kit? It's going to be dependent on if you think about turning up the boost significantly down the line. Now, if you guys are able to shell out an additional $500, I recommend you guys going ahead and sticking with JDL or full blown. For $5K, you can get a 30 series turbo with everything you need in the turbo kit, and you'll be able to make more power down the line. So that being said, I believe the actual true price for the turbo itself is going to be $5,000. Now I'm going to go ahead and write this down on my big list of things that you guys need to actually have when turbocharging your BRZ 86 FRS. Now, I recommend you guys staying away from the Speed by Design kits. Now, the reason I recommend you guys staying away from those kits is because it's actually not V-band housing. I'm not talking about the quality of the kit because that's a lot of he said, she said stuff. Some people say it's garbage, some people say it's amazing. Now, the reason why I recommend not going with that kit, and if you are going to go with the kit that's not V-band, I recommend you guys going with the Greddy kit that I have, is because if you guys are going to be itching for more power, which most likely is going to happen if you guys actually end up enjoying the turbo kit itself, these kits are actually non-upgradable. Now, when I go ahead and build my motor, actually get a built motor and get a bigger turbo, I'm going to have to sell this Greddy kit and buy an entirely new kit because these turbochargers are not interchangeable. They're not upgradable. The full-blown kit and the JDL kits are all upgradable, so all you would have to do is spend the extra $1,000 that it will cost to upgrade the turbo, and then realistically sell the turbo you have for the same price, so you kind of break even. You guys kind of understand as to why I'm saying not to stick with Speed by Design. I'm not trashing the kit because, like I said, it's a lot of he said, she said stuff. It's just not upgradable, so if you guys actually do end up wanting more power, you're not going to have to spend any more additional money. That's a mistake that I have made. Now, when I first bought the Greddy kit, I was like, I'm going to stay at 260 wheel horsepower and be fine. Obviously, That's not the case. I'm cranking this thing up to 14 PSI to make 400, and after that, I'm going to need a bigger turbo. So I recommend you guys going ahead and just sticking with JDL or full-blown if you guys are thinking about more power down the line. You're going to end up saving yourself a lot of money and also a lot of time because you're not going to have to wait for an entire new turbo kit to be assembled and shipped out to you. Now, the next important thing that you're going to have to keep in mind when going ahead and boosting your FRS, GT86, or BRZ is going to be the ECU Tech cable license as well as the tune. Don't even bother going ahead and tuning this with Open Flash Tablet. It's garbage. That tuning device is trash if you guys are trying to go force induction. Now, I recommend you guys getting the ECU Tech cable license and a dyno tune. Now, this is going to be my kind of personal preference and my bias. If there's no dyno sheet, if there's no dyno involved, I don't care about getting the tune. Now, for those of you who do not have a local dyno shop or a local trusted tuner, you're going to have to get a street map, which honestly, I pray for you guys that it's not garbage. But for those of us who have access to an actual shop, this dyno tune with the ECU Tech cable and license is going to run you about roughly $2,000. So you're going to have to make sure you guys have that at your disposal when you guys are going ahead and setting up this kit or trying to boost your GT86 FRS or your BRZ. So we're at $7,000 right off the rip. Obviously, you guys can get a used turbo kit or a lightly used turbo kit for a little bit cheaper, but I'm going off all these prices brand spanking new for those of us who kind of do not want to go ahead and mess around with aftermarket products that have been used. Now, for the next thing you guys are definitely going to want to have, you know, at your disposal when going ahead and boosting this platform is you're going to need an oil catch can. This is going to be something you definitely want to prevent blow-by to preserve your motor. Now, you guys can either go with the Radium dual catch can or the single catch can that's mounted near the battery. That's going to be the most important spot to prevent blow-by. Now, I spent $250 for my catch can, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down for how much this is actually going to cost to actually pick up. So $250. Right now, we're at $7,250 to go ahead and get this kit, you know, set up. Now, the next thing that we're going to actually have to go ahead and pick up is going to be a vent gauge. Now, I recommend you guys going ahead and picking up the P3 vent gauge. That's going to show boost, your old temperature, your AFR, and a couple other readings that you guys can preset. Now, the most important thing in my opinion, especially if you guys are first-time turbo charge owners, first-time, you know, boosting a platform, is to keep, you know, an eye on your AFRs, and this P3 vent gauge is going to run you about $500. So going to have to go ahead and add that to the list of prices when going ahead and turbocharging this platform. Those are going to be the four things that you need at minimum to get your BRZ, FRS, your GT86 up and running at the very least. So we're going to add this up. So it's going to cost you about $7,750 to get your BRZ, FRS, GT86 at the very least up and running and pushing around 260 wheel horsepower, around there. Now, we're going to transition into some additional supporting mods that you're going to need in order to push more power if you guys want to use flex fuel and run more boost on your platform. Now, the first thing that we're going to have to look at is upgrading the clutch. Now, if you guys are just pushing around 260 to 270 wheel horsepower, the clutch is going to last for the time that I believe you'll actually know if you guys want to stick with the turbo kit. Now, the reason I kind of sectioned part of these parts off in this video is because there's going to be a grace period that I believe that people will determine, they'll make up their minds if they want to stick with this platform boosted. In my opinion, there's absolutely no reason to go balls to the wall, drop $10,000 plus when you're unaware if you guys are actually going to enjoy this platform turbocharged. Now, something you guys need to keep in mind when going ahead and upgrading your clutch is you never want to install the clutch before you actually go ahead and install the turbo kit and get it tuned. Clutches will fail because of the sudden increase in friction as well as torque on a vehicle. So by the time that you have made up your mind and you think that you're going to want more power, that's when you're going to want to upgrade your clutch. Now, there are two different companies that you guys can kind of think about when boosting your car and going ahead and upgrading your clutch: ACT and South Bend. Now, I have an ACT street clutch, a heavy-duty street clutch with a lightweight flywheel that you could pick up for about $600 brand new. I actually got a deal on mine. I got it for $500 brand new. But if you guys want to run a heavy-duty clutch that feels as close to stock as possible, it's not going to feel exactly like stock, but as close to stock as possible, it's going to be the South Bend Stage 3 daily clutch with an XCD OEM flywheel, and that's going to run you about $1,000. So you're going to want to go ahead and think about dropping an additional $500 to $1,000 on your build if you guys are going ahead and turning up the boost. Things are going to get expensive very, very quickly once you either decide to turn up the boost, or if you guys just decide to go balls to the wall and get everything all at once, which honestly, I don't really recommend going ahead and doing, because this is a surefire way on how to waste and lose out on a lot of money. Now, the next thing you guys are probably going to want to go ahead and pick up is going to be some fueling upgrades, which is going to be your injectors, your fuel pump, as well as potentially going ahead and messing with a flex fuel kit. Now, as far as the injectors and fuel pump, the stock fuel system will be perfectly fine. It's not going to be running a high duty cycle if you guys are running 93 octane, 91 depending on where you live in the US or maybe somewhere out of the US, and pushing around 260 to 270 wheel horsepower. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and turn up this boost and go ahead and run flex fuel, you're going to have to upgrade your fueling. Now, a lot of people like to go with 700cc D-Schwartz injectors, as well as the 300 liters per second fuel pump, or the 340 liters per second fuel pump. And that's what I have, and that's going to be a mistake that I went ahead and made. Now, I recommend you guys going ahead and just sticking with the AEM, or I should say the Injector Dynamics 1050X injectors, which you can get for about $500, and then going ahead and getting that Walbro 485 fuel pump, because that fuel pump is what tuners, or at least a lot of reputable tuners, are most comfortable tuning the car on. Now, as far as fueling goes, honestly, we just go with what your tuner tells you to get, because the easier that their job is, the longer your motor is going to last. And this combo, you can grab it for about $850. Again, I'm not kidding, guys. A lot of this gets expensive really, really quickly. Now, I'm actually going to have to go ahead and upgrade my fueling and get the 1050X injectors and the Walbro 485 fuel pump, and sell my D-Schwartz 700cc injectors and the 340 liters per second fuel pump, because that's not what my tuner is actually comfortable with. So obviously, I'm not going to run that on my car. Don't make that mistake. My combo ran me about, I think, $500 or so for everything, $500-600. So an additional $250, I don't think it's that bad, especially when your tuner is going to be, more comfortable with this setup. Now, the next thing you guys are probably going to want to kind of keep in mind is going to be a flex fuel kit. Now, personally, I'm going to be running 110% E85. I have no intentions on putting 93 back into my vehicle, so I'm going to elect not going ahead and picking up a flex fuel kit when I go ahead and turn up the boost. But a good flex fuel kit is going to be the Moto East, the Zentronics flex fuel kit. I believe they actually changed their company's name to, it's some weird name, but if you type in Moto East flex fuel kit, you're going to get the same thing that I'm going to be talking about with the same exact price. It's going to be with the Zentronics flex fuel, adapter, and this is going to run you about $600. So again, things are going to get expensive really, really quickly once you guys are thinking about going ahead and turning up your boost. So you're going to have to spend another $600 on the flex fuel kit. And this also does come with a gauge, which is honestly nice, I might add. Now, the next thing you guys are probably going to want to go ahead and pick up when trying to turn up the boost, and if you guys are really invested with this platform, is going to be a boost controller. Now, you have two options. You guys can get a boost controller solenoid, or you guys can get an electronic boost controller that you can actually have inside of your car. Now, again, this is another mistake that I made. You can buy a boost controller solenoid for about $100, but you're not going to have access to turn up that boost in your vehicle kind of, on the fly. You're going to have those, maps that you guys can switch with your cruise control if you go with ECU Tech, which you honestly should be. But if you guys get a Greddy Perfect electronic boost controller or a Turbo Smart boost controller, you can actually go ahead and turn up your boost by just switching a dial or pressing up on a button, and you can actually have a boost failsafe where it's actually going to cut boost if you start to overboost, which honestly is a very, very good upgrade. And this is going to run you about $400 to about $500, depending on sales and where you guys get it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this down to $500. I'll be going ahead and picking up a Greddy Perfect boost controller because that's what my kit is, a Greddy kit. So it just makes sense to get a Greddy boost controller, and that's going to run me about $400. But the Turbo Smart boost controller is going to run you about $500. You guys can see here, there are going to be a lot of things that you guys are going to have to think about when going ahead and buying as far as supporting mods to truly run your desired horsepower level. Now, something else that a lot of people have to recommend you guys getting is going to be an oil cooler. Now, personally, I haven't really ran into any overheating issues with oil levels. So if you guys live in a hot environment, an oil cooler is going to be a great idea that you guys definitely should go ahead and invest in. A good oil cooler is going to run you about $600 as well. So you're going to want to go ahead and add that on top of your build. Now, as far as oil coolers go and additional cooling, we can also go ahead and throw in slim fans and radiators, but depending on the size of your turbo and the clearance that you guys have, you guys might not need to go ahead and upgrade that part of your build. And honestly, you can save yourself roughly about $1,000 when going ahead and upgrading your fans as well as your radiator. So this is going to be the true cost to actually turbo your GT86, your BRZ, or your FRS. There's about 8 things you guys are going to 110% need, 9 things with a oil cooler, and it's going to run you over $10,000. So all the things that people have told you on the forums, it's going to cost $10,000 to actually go ahead and turbo your car. Unfortunately, that is the case. Now, do you have to spend $10,000 all at once? Absolutely not. Do you have to spend $7,750 to at least get everything up and running? Maybe if you get everything brand new, or if you guys come up on a good deal, you could probably save yourself at least $1,000, maybe $1,500. So it's really realistically going to cost you about $6,000 to kind of get everything up and running if you guys buy parts, used, or you guys just get a killer deal. Now, I'm not going to include install prices or full exhaust, because odds are if you're thinking about turbocharging your car, you guys probably already have some type of exhaust work done, and I'm not going to really go ahead and tack that on because that can get really expensive, and depending on what type of brand and quality of exhaust you get, it's too many numbers to go ahead and throw in there. It's going to cost you about the same that I went ahead and kind of explained in this video. Now, I'm also not going to throw in resale on parts that you might have to remove, like headers, maybe some exhaust items that you guys might not need, because I was able to kind of take some parts off and sell them and kind of come up on around $1,000 or so selling, my old header as well as the open flash tablet. I end up coming up about $1,000 on that stuff. So again, the true cost of turboing your GT86, your BRZ, or your FRS is going to be around $7,750, or if you guys get lucky, maybe around $6,000. But if you guys do want to go ahead and push more power, upwards of $300 to $350, it really is going to cost you $10,000. So be prepared. You guys know how much you guys need to save up. I wanted to make this video to break it down and explain the mistakes that I've made, and also, you know, want to give you guys an exact number, or roughly around the exact number, how much everything is going to cost. This is going to be like literally spot on. So hope you guys do enjoy this video. If this video did help you guys out, if you guys are going to turbo your car, let me know down in the comment section. If you guys aren't going to do it after watching this video, also let me know down in the comment section. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope my GoPro doesn't mess up next time, but I feel like this video kind of needed this kind of style because it's a long video, and honestly, my GoPro can't even record longer than 20 minutes. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will catch you guys in the next one. It's been Red Light POV. Deuces.